I want to live, another 7 or 8 years at least.
Tell everybody you were going to hit the 100-year mark.
Yes, I want to hit the 100-year mark, maybe 101, okay?
Yeah. How old are you?
92?
92 years old.
Almost 93.
Almost 93. Can you describe to me what it feels like to be 92 years old?
Well, it feels like I'm about 60 or 70, if that's what
Wow.
you don't want to know, what it feels like.
Honestly, you approached me and I thought you were in your 60s or 70s. You look great. You're in great shape. I was actually blown away when you told me you're 92 years old.
Yeah.
That's great. If you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would you tell yourself?
Well, maybe be more daring and try things that seem a little bit dubious. I worked for the city of Waterloo for 38 years, and I really don't think that I needed anything else. It was a great life. I never felt in the morning, I don't want to go to work today. I was always anxious to get up and get going and be at work, and 38 years just zoomed by.
Wow. So you're with the city for about 38 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kept you for 38 years?
There was different things. I'm a Christian, and so something to do with my Christian life also was a factor, I'm sure. So I was involved in a lot of church things. I started a Sunday school, which grew up to be quite a big church in Waterloo. That was one of the things that kept my interest going. I built my own house. I was my own contractor. I couldn't get someone else to do it, so I did it.
So you're an independent contractor.
Yeah. So, and that worked out fine. That was something that encouraged me. My family, I had 2 girls and a boy. My oldest daughter, she was a teacher. And my son, he's a lawyer in Toronto. My youngest daughter is a harpsichordist, and she's a pianist at a local church. And then I have 2 grandkids that are the joy of my life. These are things that, keep me going and inspire me. I want to live, another 7 or 8 years at least.
Tell everybody you were going to hit the 100-year mark.
Yes, I want to hit the 100-year mark, maybe 101, okay?
Yeah. Yes. Your children, your grandkids, they're all gonna get you there.
Yeah, they will. They'll all help.
Yes.
Because just meeting them and getting encouragement. I go to my daughter's place every Friday night. We have supper together. I meet my grandkids and I meet the family and her, and then we watch a movie and so on. And this is a weekly thing.
Wow.
And my son, he comes in from Toronto, about once a month or so I meet him. And my oldest daughter, unfortunately, she passed away. She had Alzheimer's and she didn't want to continue on with that.
I'm really sorry to hear that. It's heartbreaking,
That's really heartbreaking.
yes, it's got to be heartbreaking to lose your daughter,
Yeah.
right? I'm really sorry to hear that. Mentally, it's tough to deal with something like that. You were just talking, and I know you just told me you had lost your wife. Describe to me what your marriage was like.
I think we had a good marriage. I don't know of any time when I was angry or anything like that. I think we only had one argument in our whole married life, and that was in the first year. Yeah.
Wow.
We-
One argument in the first year of marriage.
Yeah, we were living in an apartment and she got upset about something that I said, and then she walked out, and I just sat there, and about 15 minutes later, I went out to meet her on the sidewalk, and we came back, and that was it. We never had a really bad argument since.
Wow. That's really impressive.
Yeah, and that was, we still had 64 more years of marriage. Our marriage was just short a few weeks of being 65 years.
Wow.
But she had dementia, and so she was in a home. We had nice visits even then, and that concluded our life. But together in the years before, we worked together. We both worked in the church quite a bit, in the home, and kept things going. We made trips across the country. In fact, we went to every province in Canada except Newfoundland, and so I
Wow.
went to Newfoundland, and then I was in the States. I've been in Soviet Union, Russia, because that's where our forebears were from. So I visited that, and then I was in Europe and Germany. I have a sister-in-law who lives in Germany.
Wow.
And so we visited sort of all over the world. And we never got to Africa and places like that. My wife got to be a really good cook, so we always had good meals together. And we ate mostly at home. Going to a restaurant was a once-a-year thing, not every week. She was a very kind of a person. We got along very well, and then had our family.
What is one of your biggest regrets in life?
Biggest regrets in my life? Well, one of my regrets was I didn't go to university. I was going to go, and then things happened after grade 11, and then I quit school and got grade 12 on the side, and I never made it to university. That would have been something that I would have liked, I thought. But I mean, I did pretty well without doing that. I never earned, piles of money, always on the average. You usually had a loan or something. When we traveled, I always had to borrow money to pay for our holidays. So I'd only take a trip every 2 years because it took me 2 years to pay for the trip that I had.
Yes.
So that slowed things down. But looking back, I think I had a nice life. And I don't know if it would have been much better if I would have gone to university and I would have wanted to become an engineer, but well.
Hey, but you know what? Sometimes school isn't always the option for everyone.
Yeah.
And, you still got to experience life without schooling. It would have been great if you did. You would have had the experience. Yeah. You would have met some new people, but you know what? You still got through life. You're 92, man. You made it. You still made it without university, and that's proof to everybody that you could still do it without school.
I had lots of interesting things, and life was, quite good to me.
I hope I can look as good as you at 92, I hope I can get there.
Well, why not? You're looking good now.
Thank you. You look at the younger generation of today, what advice would you give to this generation?
Take it easy, work on your studies, and enjoy good life. Keep away from this, drugs and stuff like that. That doesn't, because they're not going to really help you. Do you really need to have drugs and stuff like that?
No.
Just forget it. Go on with the things in life that are important and that are worthwhile and that are interesting and so on.
Oh, that's amazing. You don't need drugs. You don't need alcohol to have fun, to have a good time. You can get on with life without it.
Sure. Concentrate on other things and keep yourself busy. There's lots of stuff to keep people busy nowadays. Wow.
Yes. So many distractions. And obviously, the times are different compared to back in your time. What keeps you motivated in life?
What keeps me motivated? Well,
deep questions, eh?
Yeah. Maybe it's just my routine, I get up, I have a good breakfast. I listen to CBC. I like listening to that. Then I go for lunch 3 times a week. So I meet with friends there. On Tuesdays, I go here to church, and they have a concert. They've been having those for over 30 years, and I've been going to them for over 30 years. Mostly classical music and so on. Then Wednesdays, I go to Presbyterian church, have a lunch, and usually have an interesting speaker. So that takes care of my noon hours all week.
So you're a busy man. You're busy. You're so active.
Yeah. And then, take it easy in the afternoon. And then, I sold my car a few years ago, so now I have a scooter. So I get around on my scooter all around town. And then, evenings, I watch TVO Ontario quite a bit because there's some good educational programs on there.
Yes.
So that takes care of my time, in the news and stuff.
Yeah.
And usually take it kind of easy. And I usually get to bed around 1 a.m.
You're a late night guy.
Yeah, and not too much of an early riser.
No, that's okay. Sometimes we're more productive at nighttime. Our brain gets going, right? We start thinking a lot better. What are you most thankful for today?
That we live in a country like Canada.
Yes.
The freedoms we have and the opportunities we have here. It's just great.
For the generation of today, what's your best piece of marriage advice for for people that are looking to get married and need some advice?
Wow.
Gets you thinking.
Yeah. Have your arguments and then be over with it and make
Yes.
up and give your wife a kiss and same with your family. Take time to relate to them and be with them and do stuff with them. Wholesome stuff, not crappy stuff.
No. Family time is important.
Helping kids with their homework and so on. You're just being there and being a good dad and mom to them.
And being an amazing husband.
Yeah, right. Well, that's true.
Yes.
True.
If you were to advertise on a public billboard, what would your message to the world be?
Oh. Try to be kind to one another. Kindness is an important thing. Often we're too rude and cruel to each other.
Yeah.
Be kind to your fellow man and come up with ideas to help make your community better.
And this is why I'm here today. I want to spread that energy, the good energy, be active in my community. I love authentic stories from people like you.
Okay. Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
And that's what I'm getting, and I love it.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to have helped.
Thank you for contributing. What's your best piece of advice for anyone that feels lost in life?
As a Christian, to me, the answer is sort of obvious. Get connected with our Maker, with our God, and with Jesus Christ. That's important to me. To other people, well, maybe not. Whether you're a Christian or not, try to be kind to your neighbor, your fellow person, and work together. Have some ambitions and do something that improves your city. Do something that maybe is an improvement in your country.
Yes.
We live in a really good country. I would say just about the best in the world.
I completely agree with that. We need to make improvements on ourselves and for the people of the future as well. Most importantly, we need to feel good internally before we can make improvements to the world and to the people around us.
Look after your mental health too.
Yes, that's important.
It's important how your outlook is and so on. If you're depressed and so on, you're not going to be able to do many good things in that frame of mind.
No, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's right. Yeah. What is the biggest lesson in life that you've learned?
Patience is one thing. Endurance, perseverance, stick to stuff and see it to the end. Those would be important lessons.
Yeah. What is one of the best decisions you've ever made in your life?
My decision about marriage, because that started a whole part of my life, my family life together. If that wouldn't have happened, things would be very, very different.
Yeah.
That was probably the most important one.
That's great. And you talk very highly about your wife. I haven't met her, but I'm sure she was an amazing person. And, that reflected on you as well. It shaped you to be the person you are today.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We work together and build each other up.
You have to. I'm married myself. I have a wonderful wife, 2 beautiful children, beautiful family. Can't ask for anything else. What's the most hurtful thing someone's ever said to you?
I think I've more or less forgotten them.
That's good.
I didn't dwell on it, I don't really recall anything hurtful that people have ever said. Probably did, but I've forgotten.
You have to learn to keep the negative out of your mind because it just brings you down. It drains your energy. Emotionally, it drains you. Mentally, it drains you. What's something you really cherish in life?
First of all, my family. Secondly, the people in our community. I was born in Waterloo, and I've really appreciated and enjoyed Waterloo as a city. I think it's one of the best cities in the country, maybe in the world.
Yes, and we are actually the fastest growing region in Canada. We're populating pretty quickly here. What is one of your biggest battles?
I don't know if I have any battles. There's nothing that really bothers me, that gets me down. I'm living and enjoying it. Things are going quite nicely. I have no reason to complain about anything. Things are pretty good. Why should I complain?
Exactly. You remind me of myself. I wake up every morning. I'm just happy to be alive and breathing. I'm happy to be here today. I can make a difference in the world. and so can anyone. If I didn't wake up this morning, I wouldn't have gotten to interact with you.
Right, right, yeah.
What's one important message you have to share with the world today?
Let's try and live in peace, something that we need. There's wars in Ukraine, Russia, there's war in Palestine. Why can't we get along and bury some of these things that bother us and try and live more peaceably?
That's as heartwarming as it can get. We're all human at the end of the day, and we should all be living in peace.
This has been a good meeting.
Thank you so much, Victor.
All right.
So it was so nice to meet you.